Hi, Emilia. You've sent us your first set of essays. Great. Let's take a look. An enjoyable activity. So here's what you said. When concerning child development, many parents question which promotes better skills and creativity, reading or doing an enjoyable activity. In this essay, I will discuss this issue and demonstrate that playing video games and practicing a sport bring, because there's two different things, more benefits than just reading. All right, in terms of structure, it's fine. There's a lot of nice information in your introduction, but a lot of the grammar is off. So you remember, I want you to remember that your introduction is essentially your first impression to the examiner. So it's the first kind of impression the examiner gets about your writing. So it's really important that it's accurate, okay? So I want you to watch out for some of these areas of awkwardness, but now, in the meantime, let's move on. Reading is a very important habit, and it should be encouraged. Not since, from a very young age. Nevertheless, playing games on consoles helps children to develop a bigger range of skills. For example, a recent Harvard research, all right, we don't say a research, we just say recent, not recently, we say, for example, recent Harvard research showed that children, because we never use kids, it's too informal, children who play PlayStation games had better attention and spatial awareness than, with an A, the ones who never have played it. This study also indicates that playing online can help children to develop communicative skills. All right, why? Don't just tell me it, but explain to me why. Therefore, console games are allies to increase interpersonal logical abilities, areas that could not, we never write contractions in IELTS, okay? Progress just reading. Fine. Sports are another type of activity that contributes, well, that's strange. They are another type of activity that contribute to the development of motor and cognitive skills. This is because while playing a sport, children have the opportunity to face different situations and investigate them to create solutions and strategies in order to achieve a goal. For instance, the government of France recommends that every child in the ages from 4 to 16 years should spend at least 3 hours per week playing a sport, especially the ones that involve a team. This resolution is based on the fact that cognitive development is connected with motor abilities. Okay, fine. To conclude, I firmly believe that, no comma there, here, although reading is important during childhood, there are other activities that are more valuable to promote creativity and other important skills to children. All right, so let's take a look at this. What are the skills that you talked about here? You said better attention and spatial awareness. Okay, fine. You also said communicative skills. And then you talked about interpersonal and logical abilities. So we have a range of skills here, all right? Now let's talk about this paragraph. Here you talked about motor and cognitive skills. Okay, and then, let's see, solutions and strategies. All right, which I guess are cognitive skills too. And then again, you talked about cognitive development. So take a look at the prompt now. It says better skills and more creativity. The better skills you've certainly covered. You talked about that considerably. But what about the more creativity? You didn't really cover that, okay? You might argue that, hey, but here I talked about strategies and create solutions, but that's not really creativity, okay? You really needed to specifically deal with creativity. And why do I say that? Because of the way they phrased the question, better skills and more creativity. So they clearly have separated it from the other skills, which means that they want you to talk about it exclusively on its own, in its own paragraph, okay? So that's one way you could have done it, but you absolutely needed to talk about it more. All right, so I think in general you've done a nice job here. Yeah, there's some grammar things happening. Nothing really, really serious, but I do want you to be careful about those as well. All right, so this is a nice first essay, but there are some issues with task achievement and with grammar that I want you to kind of look out for in your future essays. So in the meantime, let's take a look at this one, which is about entertaining or educational schools. Let's get started. Entertainment All right, the noun version is what you want. Entertainment and education are frequently put in opposition when discussing school's purpose. All right, that should be apostrophe S here. However, if we understand, get rid of the S, the process of learning a subject, it is easy with a Y to see that these, ESE, two aspects are totally connected. In this essay, I will discuss this issue and demonstrate that in order to learn, children must be interested in school's classes. All right, now, I want you to be careful. This is a mistake that happens all the time. You're talking about being interested, but that's not what the essay is asking you to talk about. It's talking about being entertained. So being entertained and being interested are two very different things. Okay, so being entertained is a very specific type of engagement. And so that's what you need to focus on here, all right? This is going to separate a good answer from a really good answer, so I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, an important goal of schooling is to transmit the knowledge produced by humanity. Nevertheless, although part of learning involves repetition or memorization, to engage a child, this process is fundamental. Get rid of this. A recent Harvard research, we don't put A in front of research, showed that when the content of class is related with everyday situations, children have 30% more chances of learning it because they have more fun and can realize how this content is connected to their, no S, life. All right, it's not really entertaining. This is, what you talked about doesn't sound like entertainment. Therefore, when students are engaged in the activities, they tend to have better results in school and learn contents for life. All right, so again, it felt to me like you were really talking about engagement. You were talking about everyday situations, and you didn't really explain to me how they have fun with these. So I feel like there's sort of a disconnect here, like we're missing a part of the puzzle. Could this have been potentially entertaining? Yeah, maybe, but if it is, you really need to explain it. Make it clear to us how you relate all of this, especially in terms of the everyday situations, to entertainment, okay? So let's move on. Okay, what does this mean? A part of most people may think to entertain means much more than only distract. All right, you don't mean any of this. You mean something really different because the grammar here is really problematic. So you mean some people may think that to entertain children means much more than only distracting them. Okay, so a lot of the syntax here is a little troublesome. Okay, I don't know why you wrote that though. I don't know what your point is, but let's see. When school inspires curiosity and shows children how they can find their own ways to understand the world and find solutions to old and new problems, the objective of education is achieved with success. An international survey carried out by UNICEF indicated that educational systems where students are put in contact with non-traditional classes, such as maker spaces and game-based classes, I don't know what a maker space is, but okay, have shown better results in international evaluations. All right, where is the element of entertainment? All right, again, I feel like you've missed it here. You talk about inspiring curiosity, but that's not entertainment. Entertainment is amusement, it's enjoyment, it's this lighthearted fun, laughter. All right, all of these are words that are associated with entertainment. So inspiring curiosity doesn't really fit that definition, okay? So I want you to focus more closely on entertainment. All right, so to conclude from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that school is a place to both entertain and educate. Because you have a to here, it basically requires you to use the full infinitive of the verb, unless you mean something else. You could have said, I firmly believe that school is a place for both entertainment and education, because these ESE two purposes are intimately connected. All right. I think I've been pretty clear about where the problems are with this essay. They are predominantly with task achievement, in that I really didn't feel like you understood and talked about entertainment. So that for me is the biggest problem here. And of course there were some of the other areas like grammar and so forth that were in some areas problematic. Okay? So the good news is that you've used the template quite nicely. It shows that you are getting the hang of it. You're using it appropriately, and It's keeping your essay cohesive. So that's a great starting point. But we do have to work on some of these other issues, like I said, task achievement and grammar for sure. All right, so let's talk about what your next steps are. First, I want you to correct these and send them back. With it, I want you to send your error correction list. So on one side you have the errors, and on the other side you have the corrected version. Okay, and then of course the third thing we need from you is your new set of essays. Try to do it all within the next day or so. This way you can apply everything you've been learning and really kind of consolidate it all. Okay, so I'll be waiting for those things from you. Good luck, and let's see what you write for us the next time.